share your screen then.
Yeah. So good morning, everybody. As I was presented by Alec and Sean, so my name is Hafed. Let me quickly share my screen. Um, I guess now after what I heard, like everybody must have used at least once the artificial intelligence tool. There is plenty of them. Like if you look, like in 2023, I think there was almost 8 applications of software, new AI software developed every day. Now it must be around 15 probably AI every day. So it's not the number of tools that is missing, to be honest, in the market. It's just that what is the impact of all this technology that is coming in, um, um, and uh, and what is the future for the businesses? Is it gonna impact negatively the business? Is there a risk, for example, to put some of the businesses out of the market? That's basically it. And the idea is to have like discussions all together on how or what would be the impacts, and see who started working using AI. I've seen some of you already started using AI. Is it the right way to keep using it the way how we are using it today, or should we adapt our way of working? So that's the main topic of this presentation today. Um, so I'm gonna skip the slides as Sean already did the presentation. Um, Understanding artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, what is it, and why is it going so fast today in the market? The development is you have seen everybody that there is something abnormal about artificial intelligence, which is it is growing exponentially fast. Like I don't know if you have noticed this or not, but every time you hear about something new, people are learning, for example, ChatGPT 3, and after a few months you hear there is a ChatGPT 4, and then people start learning ChatGPT 4. You see there is some new type of roles like prompt engineers, who is the people who are able to give exact command line so that they get the best out of that artificial intelligence. So people are still learning that, and we see that there is the multimodal that comes in. So what should people do? Like, should we wait until this wave stop, or should we keep learning and then move to the next one that comes? That could have some negative impact. This fast moving, it can have some negative impact on businesses. One of them is that, especially for the people who don't know what is this technology, they're gonna have to go bring buy softwares, or probably bring some companies to educate their team about artificial intelligence. But after few months, it's already obsolete. Okay, so what would be the best approach here to kind of deal with this artificial intelligence? Um, I'm sure you have all felt this kind of agitated market around AI and how everybody is trying to use it. And of course, it comes with the negative aspects, where you will see a lot of scammers going around, for example, offering that they could build solution. I've seen this happening where the people can come in, they can build solutions for you, and at the end you may pay a lot of money and end up having almost something that exists already in the market that you can get almost for free. So artificial intelligence will come with a lot of pros and cons, and it's a blade with two edges, and we need to be careful implementing AI also, because AI, artificial intelligence, is not something that will replace human, and it is not intelligent. So it will bring a lot of biases based on the data that has been introduced there. So if people, for example, there was some incident that happened before around artificial intelligence where they had to shut down the first prototypes where if a lot of people they go in and they start teaching the wrong informations, the AI won't be able to know if that's correct or not, and it start probably saying things that are not appropriate, let's say, to people, and that's the type of biases that can create. But well, now they have advanced much more. So the artificial intelligence today, it is bringing new layers. For example, before at the beginning, artificial intelligence when it came to the market, it brings almost everyone to give the same response. If you ask the same question, you will get more or less the same informations everywhere, like in the world. Okay, so to address that, they started by creating this is recent things, which is a new layer on top of the artificial intelligence, where they will be allowing the artificial intelligence to think. And you can see that, for example, if you go to tools that people are replacing it with, from instead of using Google, for example, many people are using Gemini, or they are using Perplexity, for example, which is a great tool. There is an option that shows you how the artificial intelligence think and try to analyze before giving you the response. So like that, they're trying to avoid giving the same response to everyone who is trying to kind of ask the same question. So it is evolving. It is evolving. Um, so uh, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence, it's not something new. It's something that has been developed, I think, with the first video games around 1950. If you all, the first one that was the first algorithm that has been implemented, it was with the tic-tac-toe, the game where you have to put circles and X. So when you play against a computer in order to play tic-tac-toe, how do you think the computers find a way to block you and to put the circles or the X in the right locations? That's what we call, they started to implement intelligent scripts that try to beat you in that game. So it's not something new, and that is the reason why it's growing fast. Actually, all what they are doing, they are bringing all that knowledge from the video games and the statistics and probability and mathematics. So all what you see in mathematics, statistics, and the old algorithm in video games, they combined all that and they bring it to the business world. So that's why for the people who are developing video games, like Thomas last time in our meeting, he knows that. He knows that very well. They're using that like on a daily basis, and much more sophisticated than the one that we are using even today in business. That means in the future, you're gonna see this artificial intelligence getting better and better in a very short amount of time. Okay. So now, is it intelligent? It is not. So what it does, think about, you take a sentence of word and then you tokenize that one. You divide it word by word, and then statistically and mathematically, when you teach the machine how a lot of possible sentences like that, he will statistically try to guess what would be the next word, what would be the next sentence. And then when you see the response of the AI, it will look like it's very logic. It make a lot of sense, and it is correct, 99% correct, right? And the reason is, it's not because it's smart, it's probability. He's trying to bring information from everywhere, and he's trying to link all the data together, um, and putting it in a sentence, trying to respond to your questions. So that's it basically. It's machine learning. So they give a lot of data set to teach the machine. The machine will try to create a model out of that. And then when you ask your questions, it will go and try to give you the best response based on the data that was taught to that artificial intelligence. So Is this clear for everyone? Um, um, is there any questions? So this session is interactive. Feel free to interrupt me whenever you have a questions, you have a concern, you have a doubt about artificial intelligence. Feel free to ask. Um,
Yeah,
and
that's great, Hafedh. What I'll do is just so you know the format I forgot to mention at the beginning. We've about 15 minutes max for your
Yeah,
presentation,
yeah.
and then we'll
How
open
much
it
time do
into
I
a
have
discussion.
left?
Yeah, so you've about 7 minutes, 8 minutes left.
7 minutes. All right. Okay.
Yeah, so what we
Rory
can
can go longer. Rory can go longer, but he's the only one.
yeah, that's so yeah, no, just take it through, and then we'll open it up for a discussion. I think that might work the best for you.
Okay. All right.
Is
Okay.
that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So how should we use artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence, I hate to say it, but it's it's a legal way to take other people work, but you're gonna get the best out of it. That means if you are working in one domain and then you ask artificial intelligence, it will go around for all the people, all the books, all anything in internet. It will take the best answer out of all these combined, and then it will put it in an answer and give it to you. But be sure that the same answer will be given to thousands and millions of people. It will be exactly the same. So and somehow it's kind of killing the diversity and like it is bringing everybody to the same color. And that's what I think we should avoid in the future. I think people should not count a lot on artificial intelligence. You can ask it. Keep in mind that people still need to feel you in your emails, to feel you in your work, to feel you. So that's your signature. If you will make it, if you will count 100% on AI, over the time, I think that will become something negative. If someone see a comma after, and then he see and, he will say, "Oh, this is artificial intelligence." If he see a rocket with a star and then there's the small icons, "Oh, this is artificial intelligence." So it will be flagged like the bad duck. Like if I would say, like it's gonna become negative over the time. So don't get yourself addicted to use artificial intelligence. Use it to support you to provide a better service. Like if you look to the SEO, for example, in the websites, Google is kind of punishing the people who are using artificial intelligence because they want a new content every time to be in the internet, better than using artificial intelligence to kind of which is taking from a lot of websites, a lot of books, and Google is able to detect all these locations, and that will flag your website probably to go down, and you will have a negative SEO out of it. It won't be great. All right. Now, um, it's gonna save you a lot of time, but keep in mind that your competitors also, they are using the same, and your competitors also, they're trying to do exactly the same thing. That means you never think that someone is not, never count on someone who is not using artificial intelligence. I can say like most of them they will be using, and you have to think that way. Now, what would be the best approach for you to use artificial intelligence in more efficient way, but also try to keep your own signature in the in your work. Like don't lose that, never lose it. All right. So this is all right. So what is next for artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence, I would say, for small and medium businesses, it will only become a danger and threaten the business if you don't accept the change. If you resist the change, it will be the problem. it's not about the artificial intelligence won't bring any issue to your business unless if you kind of start resisting it and you won't accept to have that in your business, and that would be probably that will have probably a negative effect on your business. So make sure to embrace artificial intelligence. As the guy said, like just start using it. Start use ChatGPT. Start use Gemini. There is a lot of tools in all the sectors. Always look what are the AI tools that exist in your sector. Make sure that you know all of them. Make sure to test them. They always give free access, so make sure that you go there. Don't be afraid to use that, and then explore all these tools. So this is a few examples of tools you can find almost, they're touching almost all the areas. Here, there are a few examples of tools. I guess probably you know most of them, but if you don't, just take a screenshot. Some of you in the creative design, you may see Midjourney, PodLM, Runway, ML for the video editing. There is also the Canva, which is very, very, very famous. Now, I think Canva is the number one in the world in terms of design, and they have invested a lot of money. HubSpot to Perplexity is kind of replacing Google, so people are just moving there to try. They're switching slowly from Google to Perplexity. Uh, um, Also, you have heard, well, everybody's using also QuickBooks. So basically, all the tools that you used to work with will be starting introducing also small modules of artificial intelligence to avoid like losing the curve and miss the curve, and people will switch away from their tool to other tools. So you will see it kind of popping up in all the tools that you are using on day to day. All what you need to do is that whenever you see a new tool coming in, just quickly learn it as soon as possible. If you have a team, train them and make sure that everybody knows how to use the tools. At least we are not looking for having someone who is expert in artificial intelligence. At least use the tools and know how to use them.
Okay, we're just there.
How much? 1 minute?
That's it. We're just 1
Yeah.
minute.
All right. So we talked already about the probably here I will add that of course it will bring a few security threats. If you expose your data to artificial intelligence, it will learn from that data, whether you want it or not. The biases we talked about, the data privacy. So GDPR and all the regulation needs to be taken in consideration. Job displacement, a lot of job will disappear, but a lot of others will appear. So I don't think there will be here a huge change in terms of job displacement. So a final word is that focus on your strategy. Make sure to start small, start exploring artificial intelligence, and yeah, embrace the change. And uh, um, and I think that's the last sentence I would say to close this presentation. So let's open for Q&A, Alec.
Yeah, that's great, and appreciate that. Thank you very much, Hafedh, for doing that. Anybody who hasn't registered today, including yourself, Hafedh, there's the link just gone in. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. It's a big topic, and naturally, we can't cover it all. And I think possibly we need maybe to start breaking it into different sectors, as Hafedh has identified there, and who's using what tool. The big challenge is we're going to be swamped with more and more of these tools, and which are the relevant ones that we need and we get the most out of. Like, anybody, any contribution around that, Vincent?
Yeah, thank you very much. I got you reminded me of something when you were talking about the history of AI, and I'd completely forgotten that I was involved in AI 10 years ago when I voice programmed Watson. I'm sure you'll know what
Yeah,
Watson is. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not sure if everyone else knows, but it's IBM's contribution to AI that started around 15 years ago. I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
to program it, and you were saying that they're not intelligent, that everything was down to probability. Well, I can tell you that when I programmed Watson, for the first 10 minutes of an 18-hour programming session, we didn't stop for 18 hours. By the first hour, I was already scared about how much Watson knew about me. 18 hours later, Watson was telling me things I should have known about myself, and it scared the pants off me. That's how good it was 10 years ago.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah,
this
yeah,
who's
yeah.
registered today. Please register if you did. Just in terms of just talking about AI, I would be interested in those of you who are using AI in a practical way to maybe do a presentation and let us start focusing in on the individual tools. So, I mean, I was just looking there. Perplexity, if we look at Perplexity, it's a research tool. What other research tools are good and accurate and probably up to date? ChatGPT and Claude are very much around about creative tools, creative writing. What do we need to be careful of in using those? And then things like Mid-Journey, Runway, and I think it's PODLM or something, which are all around more creative, but in a sort of moving visual. I would be interested to get a presentation from those of you who are using these tools so that we all as a group get to understand what is relevant. For me, this sort of video element is probably not relevant. It's probably relevant to my clients. So I would defer to somebody like Paul on that and whoever else is using it there, maybe Manus, and you know, Hafedh or whoever it is, and say to them, but I need to understand more. What is it? What's it being used for? And how can my clients benefit from it? I've no interest in learning it, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. In terms of things like Perplexity and research, I certainly will use it. So I need to know what's the best way to get the most out of using it in its most simple form. And the same too then in terms of maybe data and the use of data. Can I just ask you, because I'm going to go into, or we'll set up our breakout rooms now. If you haven't registered, please register. There's a note there of who has registered. But will you let me know if you're interested in talking about a particular area of AI that will be of benefit to the group here and how it's making a difference? Because in doing so, you will then help the rest of us, maybe refer you to other clients that we know. Because as I said, most of us don't really want to learn certain elements of it, but we do have people who need it. And this is how, you know, we're able to position. Is that okay? Has anybody?
Alec,
Yeah.
just one quick point.